Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to The Key and another edition of Key by the Numbers. This week's numbers are going to be 300 and 1,000. Should be pretty simple. We're in 21237 hazardous materials. Now, we're talking about the minimum distance that you have to be back from an event, right? So any spill is 300 feet. Any fire is 300 feet, except any fire involving a military shipment or a tanker truck is 1,000 feet, or any explosion or suspected explosive device, you have to be back 1,000 feet. Now, keep in mind, it says specifically in the patrol guide, may be expanded. So again, it's not enough to study and learn the numbers. You have to try to think about how exam writers will come at you. For example, they say spill, any spill 300 feet. That's outdoors. If you're indoors, it says just that room, okay? But any fire or explosion indoors, and it's the room that everyone is in, including all rooms where anybody might be possibly hurt, even above or below. So they like to test bright line numbers. And then what they do is they corrupt those numbers. So let's go back to the spill. Any spill, 300 feet. What happens if you get a spill and they tell you that you've drawn the police line 500 feet? It says at least 300 feet, and that distance may be expanded. So on an exam question, they say there was a spill of some kind of material and your police line was 500 feet back. Is that okay? Technically, that's okay because it says at least 300 feet may be expanded. Any fire, 300 feet, except if it's a fire involving a military shipment or a tanker truck. All right, so if you go to a fire out on the highway and there's an oil truck on fire, that's at least 1,000 feet. So yes, it's helpful to learn the 300 feet and the 1,000 feet, right? But what you have to try to do is think about how that question might be corrupted, how those facts and those numbers might be shifted in order to get you to make a mistake. So it says right in the patrol guide that the distance may be expanded. So in the body of the question, you're going to get a fire or a spill, and you're going to say, okay, well, I'm 300 feet back, right? It's not a tanker truck. It's not a military shipment. And I made the police line 500 feet away. Technically, that's okay because it says minimum distance, 300 feet, may be expanded. Now, you have to think about all the different combinations that might come into play. What if it's a regular Jeep that's a military Jeep with the Army star on the side, and the Jeep is on fire? Does that suffice as a military shipment? I say no. And so these are the things that you're going to have to consider while you're answering the exam question. So yes, it's 300 feet for any spill or any fire, and then 1,000 feet for any explosion, suspected explosive device, or a fire of any military shipment or tanker truck. So you know the numbers, you learn the numbers, but then think about how those could be moved around in order to get you to get the question wrong. They know that you're studying 300 feet. They know that you know that number. Obviously, exam writers know that you're studying 300 feet, 1,000 feet. They know that. So you're going to get a regular Honda Civic on fire, and they're going to tell you in one of the choices that your police line was 450 feet back. They know that you're studying 300. You say, oh, well, that's wrong. It's not wrong. It says may be expanded. So you have to judge by all the other choices if this is the best choice. Lest we forget, in the exam questions, they always say, evaluate the following choices and select the most correct one. Okay? So that's going to be it for this week's Key by the Numbers. Make sure you smash that like button, share this video with your friends. We always have new content coming out for you. If you want to hear any specific lesson or patrol guide section be taught, you can always email the Key. You can comment on the Instagram or Facebook or TikTok post and say, can you take a look at this? Give me a short video on that, and then we'll tackle it. Okay? Have a great time, everybody. Remember, until we see you again next time, that preparation is the key. Peace, everyone.